Welcome back to the basics of biblical political theology. This is video number 2. Video number 1, we looked at human rights and said that because God has rights, it produces in man obligations, and man's obligations produce in him rights, rights to worship and rights to life. Now I want to move on to authority, delegated authority, and we're going to return to Genesis for that study. So we need to understand when God delegates authority to man on the earth, what does that look like? And first off, we notice that God creates the heavens and the earth, but he doesn't give man authority over the heavens, only over the earth. And so man is delegated authority in a particular sphere or realm. And that realm then is, in this instance, it's the earth. But it goes further than that. Man has authority in a particular sphere, but also there's a hierarchical structure amongst man, right? Man, when we talk about mankind, the man is created in an authority over the woman. So when God gives the prohibition to eat from the tree, Eve has not even been made yet. So Genesis 2:16, Yahweh commanded the man, from any tree of the garden you may surely eat, but he hasn't yet made the woman. And so already here there's a hierarchical structure. And so God delegates authority to an individual. He delegates authority to an individual within a sphere. But then we see that even within a sphere, there's things that are off limits. And so you think about that tree, right, that man cannot eat from. What that tells us is that there's a limit to man's authority within a particular sphere, and we need to then differentiate between power and authority, right? Adam and Eve had the power. They had the ability to eat from the tree, but they did not have the authorization. They did not have the right to eat from the tree. And this is very common in our world. It's common to have more power than authority. Every time we sin, basically every time we sin, we're using our power in a way we're not authorized to use it. We're doing something we're not supposed to do. We're replicating what Adam and Eve did. And so it's very common to have more power than authority. And that's key when we think about the role of government and civil government. But for now, we just note that God delegates authority into a sphere to an individual. And there's also a purpose, right? There's, again, a teleology of authority. In this instance, in Genesis, we know that it's to represent God, right? Man has authority and he has power for the explicit purposes of representing him, subduing the earth, filling the earth with culture and people. And so we just want to differentiate then between power and authority and recognize that the authority and power are always, they're delegated, they're limited to the person, they're limited to the sphere, they're limited to the intention or the purpose. So hopefully that's a helpful start. This is a short one. I'm going to pick up in video number 3 and develop this even further.